Welcome to the big, beautiful Bella San Luci kitchen. It's summertime and the living is easy, and we're here to do a recipe submitted by Barclay Stratton that is from New Orleans, the Big Easy, and we're gonna get cooking with a special grilled skirt steak, a Maque Choux, and a spoon bread all together on one plate. When you multitask, the first thing you want to do is the longest thing. So what we're going to get going first is our chicken stock with our Bella San Luci halves, and we're going to bring them to a simmer. So I'm going to stir these in, bring them to a boil, set them aside for 30 minutes. We're going to get going the Maque Choux. Maque Choux is a very sentimental term for a partnering. We're going to use pancetta and just a touch of oil to crisp it up. Stock with the sun-dried tomatoes is still coming up to a simmer. I see a little steam coming. We'll keep waiting on that. While we get our pancetta crisping up, the oil is hot, and we're gonna remove it, leaving the flavorings in the pan to then saute the onions, the celery, there's thyme, the green and red bell peppers, very New Orleans flavors. The recipe calls for bacon lardon, and pancetta is the Italian version of that. We like Italian things here at Bella San Luci. The sun-dried tomatoes with the chicken stock has come up to a slight boil. I'm going to turn it off. We're going to let it sit for 30 minutes. We're getting back to our Maque Choux here. All right, we have some nice color and crispiness here with the pancetta. And I'm going to take them out of the pan and leave the oil and the pancetta fat in the pan. And let's get the rest of our ingredients in. Onion, celery, also very New Orleans. And it's a nice summery twist that this all comes together with corn cut off the cob. Let's get our bell pepper in there. There's also thyme. And all of this is the foundation for many New Orleans dishes. Dirty rice, jambalaya. Let's keep going. Boom, boom, boom with the garlic. And then the thyme. And it says don't overcook the vegetables. I'm gonna turn this off for a second. I'm gonna add the pancetta back, coming together very nicely. Let's strain out the sun-dried tomatoes, reserving the chicken stock. This is now sun-dried tomato chicken stock, which is a great idea. You can use it for a lot of different applications, including soup. And there we have our sun-dried tomatoes are gonna go in with our New Orleans flavors. Give it a little stir. Now we'll add the corn. Ready? Beautiful colors, smells wonderful, and I'm sure it has a lot of flavor. Salt and pepper to taste. It's about our minute. Let's get the cayenne in. Okay, now we're gonna turn it off and we're gonna add the green onion and the lemon. So here's your green onion, a little bit of lemon juice. I'm gonna give it another stir. Set it aside onto a cooler part of the stove so we can warm it up just before we serve the steak with the spoon bread later. Okay, our sun-dried tomato flavored chicken stock is now gonna get about a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna whisk that in. Give it a couple of seconds just to dissolve in there. And then we're going to slowly drizzle the cornmeal, stone ground cornmeal, into the flavored chicken stock. Here we go, ready? If you've ever made polenta before, this is the way you do it. A little bit at a time, stirring in to avoid any clumps. And then let's stir it, whisk it for about a minute until it all comes together, and then we'll turn it way down and let it sit for about 5 minutes on a very low flame. We're gonna get our cornmeal porridge basically into our mixing bowl. The recipe calls for, the first thing is, let's get our eggs cracked in here. Uno, due, tre. Laissez le bon temps brûler. And let's get those eggs mixed into the polenta porridge. Then while it's still hot, let's get our butter in there so it'll melt. 2 tablespoons. And we have our baking powder. So it should rise just a touch like a cornbread. It's a very soft, wet cornbread. And finally, a touch of sugar. So we have all our ingredients mixed together here. We're gonna pour it into our pre-buttered pan. And let's get every drop of this deliciousness. Because it's not going to, I believe, rise over and make a mess in the oven, I'm going to put it straight onto the rack. The oven is preheated. We're going to go onto our middle top rack, straight into the oven. Okay, we were really grilling outside. It's summertime, the jasmine's in bloom. We're going to salt and pepper our skirt steak. And so we have our salt and pepper. And again, big, bold flavors in New Orleans. So let's get big, bold salt and pepper on there. We're going to lightly oil it so we don't stick to the grill. And by lightly, I mean I fill a cap full and drizzle that. You don't really want it to flame up your grill. I like to avoid that happening. We're going to put the salt up. So we're going to make an X. We'll put it on the grill on a diagonal. And we'll let it sear there until it has a sear on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 pounds of meat here, so I believe that it's 8 portions, quarter pound or so for each portion. With the spoon bread and the corn maque choux, it'll all come together to make a nice entree for 8 people. So we're getting some nice golden brown grill marks, 2 or so minutes on each side, and we're almost there. Don't want to really overcook it, and what we really want to do is cook it to about medium rare and have it rest up to a nice medium. Okay, our meat's rested up nicely, about 10 minutes. Really, the longer the better. And we're going to cut on the bias, slicing like butter. It's pretty rare, but it's beautiful. When it rests up like this, the rare becomes a medium rare. And here's our spoon bread. Let's go in the middle where it's nice and soft. Look good? Chef Barclay Stratton says, fan the meat around the spoon bread, and then let's give it a nice big spoonful of maque choux, adding color, crunch, and all of those wonderful New Orleans flavors. Cajun Creole. A little bit of height there. And here we have Chef Barclay Stratton's skirt steak on the grill with a maque choux and spoon bread. Yum. Listen everybody, it's June. July 1st is the deadline to get your recipes into bellasanlucci.com. Please use our sun-dried tomatoes. Please cook with passion, enthusiasm, and eat with your friends and family and with love. Have a wonderful summer, and we'll see you at bellasanlucci.com. Arrivederci.